Now, today we want to talk about E, which, like I said, is expectation. Expect so that we know how to prepare. Because when all of those four things are functioning simultaneously, what happens is hope doesn't only come, hope stays alive. And that's what we want in our lives. We want for hope to stay alive. We don't want hope to be a seasonal thing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to share with you 4 expectations that many people don't plan for. These things will happen. Jesus said in this life, trials will come. Many people are oblivious of these situations, so they never prepare for them. When these situations show up in their lives, guess what? They are so caught off guard that they render themselves hopeless. They begin to declare spiritual warfare, and we've got to pray more. Not that anything's wrong with praying, but you know what? It's a lot of times it's not really that. When all it is it's just oncoming traffic. It's just turbulence that you're going through. But here's the thing: nobody warned you about it, so you didn't prepare because you didn't know what to expect. I want you to expect some of these things to happen. These situations I'm going to mention are probably, I'd say, the most common that lead to hopelessness. And if misunderstood and unprepared for, you will fall into a hopeless situation. But after this message, you will have no excuse, because you know what? You're going to make it through the storm. There's a quote that goes like this: expectation is when preparation meets opportunity. You know what? There are opportunities ahead of you, but you need to prepare, and you need to expect that on your way to that open door, on your way to that blessing, on your way to that breakthrough, you're going to go through turbulence. There will be oncoming traffic, but here's the good news: we're preparing for it. Are you ready? Expectation number 1 in your outline: expect to wait. Things are not going to happen overnight. You've got to expect to wait. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9, in your outline it says, and let us not grow weary. That word weary means hopeless. Let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season, underline those 2 words, due season, we shall reap if we do not lose heart, or if we do not become hopeless. Now I want you to focus in on those 2 words I asked you to outline, or I asked you to underline. Due season. I looked it up in several different translations, and here's one in the NIV. It's called the proper time. In the NCV, the New Common Version, it's called the right time. In the Amplified Version, it's called the appointed season. No matter which one of those terms you want to use, truth of the matter is there's going to be some waiting involved. Don't get disappointed. Don't fall into a hopeless atmosphere when you feel like God is delaying. See, these 2 words, due season, make it very clear that we must expect what seem to be delays, but to God, it's timing. You know, the other word for weary is hallucinate. It says don't hallucinate. Don't start seeing hopeless situations. You know, another word is delirious. Don't grow delirious. You start saying weird things because, oh my gosh, you know, did God forget about me? Another word is paranoid. Don't grow paranoid. Come on. Stay in the fight. Be calm. There's turbulence. There's oncoming traffic. There are delays on the road. I remember my mom used to tell me when I first learned how to drive, my dad would send me off to an errand, and my mom would say something that still to this day I can't figure out. She'd say, David, drive slow, but hurry back. I'm like, what? Drive slow, but hurry back. You know, my wife kind of reminds me about my mom when it comes to the kids driving, because every now and then I'd send the kids off to an errand, and my wife would, we'd be sitting around, and I'm figuring maybe anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes they'd be gone. You know, I'm figuring out the timing. But with my wife, sometimes after about 9 minutes, she'll say, babe, can you call the kids and see if they're okay? I'm like, babe, it's going to take at least 30 minutes for them to go get the thing and then come back. It's about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. There's traffic on the road, so don't worry about it. The Bible says don't grow weary while waiting. Don't grow weary while doing good. Don't hallucinate. Don't get paranoid. Don't get delirious. You know, those things will happen. Psalms 102 verse 3 says it's a season called the set time of favor. You know, God's not late. We're just in a hurry. Delay is not denial. Waiting and timing is part of God's plan. So prepare to wait. A pastor out of Oklahoma, Pastor Willie George, he once said this: God can do miracles of instant provision, but he prefers to be the God of seed time and harvest time.